What an absolutely brutal night to be at Neyland Stadium. A horrible loss for the University of Tennessee.
You are Locked On Vols, your daily podcast on the Tennessee Volunteers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into it. This is your reactionary show here on a early Sunday morning. It is very, very late. Gotta love these late night kickoffs. But again, this is the only one at Neyland, and more on that atmosphere in a moment. But brutal night. Brutal night for sure. No way to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. This was a horrendous night of football for Tennessee, and the 33-27 final score loss to that being the Oklahoma Sooners. I'm Eric Cain. Over the next 15-20 minutes, I'm going to briefly just get you something. Obviously, we'll have our regular Monday morning programming coming up, but I wanted to get something up there to you before then. So whether you're listening to this on the way to church, maybe you'll need church after you listen to this. If you're watching this Sunday morning, if you're a maniac and watching or listening to this, middle of the night, I do appreciate you guys for being here and just doing some raw, instant reactions. Wasn't pretty. And what this loss means for the season, what this loss means for the program, and where Tennessee goes from here. But first and foremost, the atmosphere in this football game was incredible. We'll talk more about that here in a moment. Let's actually talk about the game. Tennessee defensively in the first half, I'll start there. Man, what a phenomenal effort. John Mateer looked awful. They couldn't run the football. Oklahoma was 1 for 5 on third downs in the first half. Oklahoma scored 9 points in the second quarter, but all field goals. The only touchdown it scored in this football game, in the first half, was a scoop and score from on the offensive end from Tennessee's offense. What an effort by the Tennessee defense in this game. And offensively, you scored some points and you settled for a field goal. And, of course, you missed a big field goal. And you just knew that, boy, you don't want to waste. You certainly don't want to waste this defensive effort. Excuse me, it's late. I'm yawning. You don't want to waste this defensive effort, especially with what Tennessee did in the first half, and that's exactly what happened. And I thought golly, man, it is late. I thought Oklahoma got better offensively as the game went along. Obviously, coming out of the halftime break, it went punt, fumble, then it went touchdown on 5 plays, 52 yards, went field goal, 9 plays, 38 yards, interception, and then touchdown, 2 plays, 44 yards, and of course that was right there at the end of the game. And Tennessee had some gap misalignments on that last touchdown when Tennessee, got back in there and scored the touchdown and cut it to within like a one-possession game and all that, and got it really, really close, and then you just give up just a massive, run there at the end, and the guy, took a knee there at the 1, and they were trying to decide if they want to run it out or if they wanted to score, and they ended up going there and scoring with John Mateer the next play. Overall, I thought this defense played pretty good football. I did. Got back to sacking the quarterback a little bit, tallied 3 sacks, 3 TFLs. Those were the only TFLs in this football game. I thought Idris Farouk, and I'll go back and watch the tape, I thought Idris Farouk played his butt off. His forced fumble, that is textbook, man, just punching that football loose and coming off the edge and batting the ball away and all that. Or that was Edwin Spillman. I thought Edwin Spillman was active, obviously. He had the interception, a nice PBU on third down. Anyway, was this defense perfect? Heck no, it wasn't perfect. But did this defense give some good effort, and did this defense play well enough to win this football game? Yes, and that's why I'm starting there because, guys, how many times this season have we talked about how the defense just doesn't give you a chance? It doesn't give you a chance, and the defense played well, and offensively, holy crap. You move the football, you're dominating, just straight up dominating Oklahoma in terms of the stats in the first half. If you just looked at the stats, you would think Tennessee was winning by at least 2 touchdowns. At least 2 touchdowns. But turnovers, especially on the plus side of the 50, not finishing, it killed Tennessee. The 71-yard strip sack fumble, scoop and score for a touchdown from R. Mason Thomas, really good player. It was a complete miscommunication. David Sanders and Jesse Perry blocked the same guy. And there was a guy, and he came off the edge, clean, untouched and absolutely drilled Joey Aguilar. Didn't even have a chance. Did play action, never even saw him, never looked, didn't have a chance. Did not have a chance. And that's because there was a miscommunication up front on Tennessee's offensive line. And then Joey Aguilar's first interception, and he said this in postgame, and I'm glad he did because I thought he characterized it pretty well. He was like, they got me. They were running cover one. They were disguising what they were doing on the back end. But they had cover one with a safety free. They rolled him down, and he threw the football and didn't even see the safety on the inside. It was an easy interception. Easy interception. The second interception, he was getting hit while he threw it. Threw it to absolutely nobody except, the Oklahoma defender. And it was just an easy little pitch and catch there. I mean, Joey Aguilar got really lucky on the first play of the game. Pump faked and fumbled the football at his own 10-yard line or whatever. I mean, that could have been disastrous. For as great as Joey Aguilar has been this year for Tennessee, boy, and for him to be, guys, he was this is the second week in a row where, Aguilar was what? He was so good last week against Kentucky. And he was 4 yards away from 400 yards. He was 7 yards away from 400 yards in this one, and he was so bad tonight. And I love the fact that he's got a short-term memory, and he comes back, and he attacks the next play, and he goes out there and does make plays. And the difference in Joey Aguilar, when he makes mistakes, he'll come back, and he'll make a couple more plays for you. That's what he did tonight. His final numbers, 29-45, 64%, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was pretty much even in touchdown-to-turnover ratio because he had a fumble, 2 picks. He had 3 touchdowns, 393 through the air. I love that. I love his short-term memory. Love his short-term memory because that's what you have to play quarterback and to play cornerback in this football game. But ultimately, he did not play his best football. He was missing. He was putting the ball in harm's way. It was not great. And Tennessee just could not finish drives in the first half to build on a lead that should have been at least 2 scores. Look at these first half drives. Touchdown, first possession, 75 yards, 9 plays, great. Okay. Then you had the strip sack fumble that was returned for a touchdown. Then you settled for a field goal. Okay. Then you missed a field goal. Come on now. Make field goal kick, right? You missed a field goal. And then you had back-to-back interceptions on possessions in the second quarter. One play, just a backbreaker, 44 yards on 10 plays ends and a pick. And the next one was pretty early in the drive, 11 yards on 4 plays ends with a pick. And then, of course, you go in the halftime break. You come out, you score a touchdown. You go punt on back-to-back 3-and-outs, which was not good. You turn the football over on downs on a play that was – I saw some chatter on social media, and it was like, how on earth are you going to draw up a play for a freshman tight end in that situation? You know what my response is? He's getting paid money to be here. He's a big boy. Make the play. What was it? Went between his hands and hit him in the face mask. It is what it is. It's tough. That's tough. I like Jack Van Dorselaer. I think he's a good player, and I think he's going to be a really good player. That's a tough play. It's a learning experience, but end of the day, 4th and 1, wide open. Wide open in the flat, between your hands, hit your face mask. Make a play. Make a play. That's on the coaches. Make a play. Make a play. It was there to be had. It was 4th and 1. Make a play. You didn't make a play. That's execution. I did not agree with some of the play calling in terms of getting that big turnover defensively and then running it 3 straight times and punting the football away. That didn't make sense. 3rd down when they kind of went sweep right with everybody. I don't hate the play call because you won the game at Mississippi State that way, but the difference is Oklahoma's defense is so much better than that of Mississippi State's. A little bit of a difference in the personnel on that side. You can do that against State in tight quarters. You can't really do that against the Sooners in open space, and I get that. Just disappointing, man. Just disappointing. Where does Tennessee go from here? What's this mean for the rest of the year? All that and more. We'll continue. We'll talk about that when we return. This is some reaction here late. Well, it's early on a Sunday morning. Tennessee falls to Oklahoma 33-27. This is Locked On Vols. College football is back, and I couldn't be more excited. The tailgates, the rivalries, the energy in the stands, there's just nothing like it. But let's be real. Actually getting tickets can feel like more of a battle than the game itself. Endless queues, hidden fees, prices jumping at checkout. That's why I use the Game Time app. It's the app that gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the easiest way to score last-minute tickets at the best prices with no surprise fees. What you see is what you pay. I pulled up Game Time, and in just a couple taps, I saw amazing deals. I'm talking about your favorite college football games for as low as $25. The app made it super simple. I could even see the exact view from my seat before buying. That was awesome. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, put in the redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply. Again, put in that promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on all the action than over at FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets in the same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game more exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. So, right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So, head on over to FanDuel.com to get signed up, play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, and it's where you can make every moment more. All right, we got a couple more minutes left here on this reaction show. Locked on Vols, Tennessee Vols to Oklahoma, 33-27. Very disappointing. I don't want to say you were the better football team tonight because you can't turn the football over the way you did, and you can't have so many miscommunications up front and not block well enough like the way you did. And there were many different scenarios where Tennessee could have really stamped the approval, if you will, to be the better football team, but it just didn't here tonight. But this is a very gettable football game. I mean, offensively, gosh, man, again, let's go back and look at the stats, right? I mean, this was the typical bend but not break type defense for Oklahoma tonight. Offensively, you gained 456 yards. You threw it for 7 yards away from 400. Tennessee could not run the football at all in this game. Meanwhile, Oklahoma ran it for $192, which is not great. Tennessee only penalized 3 times for 25 yards. Oklahoma was penalized 11 times for 104 yards. Tennessee had 9 more first downs in this game than Oklahoma did. Tennessee was good on third downs, converting 7 of 13. Oklahoma converted only 4 of 10, only 1 of 5 in the first half. Tennessee ran 16 more plays than Oklahoma did. Tennessee averaged 0.2 more per yard or per play than Oklahoma averaged. Tennessee averaged 13.6 yards per reception. Here's a big difference. Oklahoma averaged 5.5 yards per rush. Tennessee 1.8, obviously. Tennessee barely lost the time of possession, but again, he's only won it maybe twice in his entire tenure here, and that's okay. Just inexcusable, right? I mean, Tennessee, stat-wise, like, better football team. Against Alabama, stat-wise, better football team. But it's those plays to where you're giving up, the turnovers, the pick sixes at Alabama, the scoop and score touchdown against the Sooners, not finishing drives, throwing interceptions when you have a promising drive, about the score, just stuff like that. It's really, really just frustrating. And again, why it's frustrating? Well, it's because number one, I mean, I want to call it like it is, right? I mean, there's miracles out there. I'm not saying miracles aren't a real thing, but your college football playoff hopes are dashed. It's over. Your college football, you are not making the college football play. If you are a 3-loss team, you have no signature win. Tennessee's chances of the college football playoffs are done. And so that's disappointing because you have a team, you have an offense that's good enough to play in the CFP. And so it's very disappointing in that regard. What's even more disappointing is you go into a bye week. So you got to sit on this performance and stew on it for 2 weeks. And then your first game back, well, it's New Mexico State, where Tennessee can win by as many points as it wants to win by. So you're going to have like 21 days until you go down to Florida, a place you haven't won since 2003. It's going to be a long 21 days. And that's unfortunate because, again, this team had so much hype and this team had so much potential. think back, losing the game to Georgia, but think back the conversations we had after that Georgia loss. It's like, man, I know Tennessee lost the game, but kind of feel okay. Like, Tennessee can put up 41 points against this Georgia defense, and I don't think Georgia's as good as it's been. I still think it's a very good football team, but it's certainly not as good as it's been. But you felt pretty good leaving that game, and the defense just never came around, and honestly, the offense has been very inconsistent, and Tennessee's not run the football the way that it needs to run the football. I mean, I'm going to do a show at some point shortly after the season where I'm just going to laugh at myself and call out all the things I did wrong and said wrong, and a way to hold everybody accountable. Like, I think that's something every personality should do. And again, you're never going to bat 1,000, okay? And who am I to foresee? Like, I did not foresee your 2 starting corners pretty much being out for the year. Didn't see that. I mean, just like I didn't see Joey Aguilar being a stud, right? So, but we'll go back and kind of talk about everything that I said that was wrong back in July and August. But I thought this would be a 9-3 football team. Tennessee has a chance to finish 9-3, but boy, if you don't tighten up, man. Like, man, Vanderbilt can beat you. Florida can beat you. I mean, you're going to beat New Mexico State, but like, you better fix some things, because Vanderbilt can absolutely beat you, and of course, Florida at home can beat you. I got news for everybody. Florida's a good football team. They were just ran by not a very good coach. Florida's always had talent on that roster. So again, it's just really disappointing in that regard, because essentially, I mean, I look at this in terms of business as well. I mean, a lot of you guys won't ever turn the show back on, because again, the college football playoff hopes are dead. And so the views are not going to be good. The views over at VolQuest.com are not going to be good. It sucks. It sucks because I don't get to cover a playoff team, and from a business standpoint, the views are not going to be good. So yeah, it's a disappointing night all around, selfishly for me, but obviously for Tennessee, because I felt at points in times the better football team, especially early on, but just continue to make horrible mistakes. So where does this team go from here? Well, hopefully the leadership in this room continues to press, front foot forward and, delivers good outcomes, and you stay locked in. You go win these games, finish 9-3, and then you go to Tampa, or you go to Jacksonville, or you go to the state of Florida. Orlando would be great, Tampa or Orlando. And you give your fan base something to cheer about, New Year's Day or something. That's my hope. I think in this era, we would be naive to not think like, okay, well, will some players shut it down with no playoff hopes alive? I don't know. We'll see. Will Josh Heupel like to play a lot of young guys? I think that you need to, because I think you're always at chance to losing some to the portal, and I think you should really play a lot of these young guys, not wholesale changes or anything. I mean, Joey Aguilar is your quarterback, but I think you should make a move to play some young guys for sure. I don't know. The last 3 games are going to be interesting. It really is going to be interesting. So I'm intrigued to see kind of where everybody goes from here. But I hope, my hope is the leadership in this locker room will and I have no reason to believe with guys like Dominic Bailey, Bryson Eason, Miles Kitselman, and Arion Carter that it won't be. But this era of where anything but the college football playoff or bust, it's tough for those teams that don't make the field. So I'm really intrigued to kind of see what's going to happen with this team moving forward. Again, you're going to a bye week this week, so we'll see. Last thing I want to say, and again, I'm going to do a rewatch of the game tomorrow morning. I'm going to write a column. I'm going to record my show. I'm going to do a live show Sunday night. Like, I'm going to go back and watch and familiarize myself more with some things I missed from this game and everything. But last thing I do want to mention here tonight is, boy, the night at Neyland, there's nothing like it. And it sucks that this is like the only one you're going to get this year. But man, the light show, the fireworks, Johnny Knoxville was here. It's cool, man. I mean, what a place. I love Knoxville, Tennessee. And I love college football game days here. It's nothing like it. It's cool. I thought the atmosphere was really, really cool early in the football game. If you were in the stands, you brought it. You brought it for sure. And I hate that it ended in the way that it did. I do. How is this football team going to respond? I don't know. I'll tell you this. Locked On Vols ain't going anywhere. We're going to talk Tennessee football all offseason long throughout the rest of November. Hopefully Tennessee will get some wins and make some things exciting. We're not going anywhere, okay? We'll be here through the end of football season, transfer portal season, basketball season, baseball season, all that and more. It stinks. Tennessee's not going to the college football playoff, but there's still so much to talk about and still so many questions to ask to see kind of what's next for this football team, both for the remaining 3 games and then, of course, off-season moves and all that and more. So we'll be right here, Locked On Vols. We'll be back Monday morning. Appreciate you guys listening. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Thanks for being here. This is Locked On Vols.